Tuesday for a reduced MLB salary, stating that the risk is through the roof. Snell is the 60th highest paid starting pitcher in baseball. And NASCAR announced today that it has now set plans for 20 races, including 9 in the Elite Cup Series, as it returns to the tracks after being shut down for more than 2 months during the coronavirus pandemic. Update brought to you by Interstate Batteries. When it comes to dependability in car batteries, no one beats Interstate Batteries.
Oh, this is awesome. We've even changed things behind me, Alyssa. The Raiders are going to kick off this fall. We here at Fox 5 very excited to announce right now that we are the official broadcast partner for the Raiders. We'll have exclusive interviews all throughout the next few hours.
There it is, the big broadcast news. TV partner, local TV partner, Fox 5. Continues what they were doing, but this is a biggie for Fox 5 as the Raiders now have a local partner. What does that mean for the other TV stations?
I never know. I mean, I feel like throughout the years, it's a weird market now, though, because through the years when we've had deals with certain stations or certain networks and teams have worked with each other on different things, we've kind of seen like other places didn't care. They just kind of did whatever they wanted anyway. I think it'll be different with pro sports for sure, as they try to navigate this whole new world of having Major League Sports in this town. But it's good. I mean, it's where you'll see the preseason. You'll probably see different coach or player shows, things like that. That's how it'll work out. And I think the other stations will still cover sports and cover the Raiders, but certainly, a lot of exclusivity for Fox 5, and they get a preseason that probably won't happen, but that's where you'll see the games.
You don't think the preseason is going to happen?
Not in the normal form. I mean, I think we'll maybe have like scrimmages, maybe things like that. I just can't see. I can't see actual like normal preseason games if there's no fans.
So Fox 5, TV partner locally with the Raiders, will have portions of an interview with Kevin Bollinger and Mark Bedane a little later on. But, it's another one of those steps. Like the Raiders are officially in Vegas. Now they've got a TV partner. From a newspaper standpoint, does this hurt you guys? Like you guys are trying to do a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we just do news stuff, so it doesn't really matter. You can still cover the team.
But access to players and coaches?
Yeah, I think, of course. You still get, like, you
not
can't
as much?
You can't block media people from doing their job. It's just...
Well, but you're not going to get, like, if the John Gruden show is on Fox 5, I don't know that he's doing one, but as an example, or they go with someone a little bit lower on the staff, like, you're not getting one-on-ones with John Gruden for your video stuff.
Not as much.
Like in your studio?
Sure, you still will.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
So what does Fox 5 get?
Well, they get the regularity, I think, of the shows.
Damn. I'd want to block you guys.
We really can't do that. It's against the NFL policies.
No, what I'm saying is you guys are doing studio shows. If the John Gruden show is on Fox 5,
yeah, we're not going to.
You're not going to get him for a studio show.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the point I was making.
No, he can still do all those things from every other market. It might be different in this market. I don't know what kind of deal they signed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't really block other places. You can block. John Gruden can do a show with us every week.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, sure. if you're hoping for that.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's a big deal.
Sure.
You don't think John Gruden on the RJ's video streams on that platform would bring you guys big traffic?
I don't know that John Gruden's doing a weekly show anyway.
All right. So the Rod Marinelli show.
Yeah. I mean, you just pick somebody else.
Interesting. I'm curious how you guys navigate that one. That was Dave Hall on the way back, by the way. And Dave's going to join us at 4:15 to talk a little bit about this partnership, but more about what's going on around Las Vegas from a sports and news standpoint. Like I said, later on we'll have some audio from Bollinger and Mark Bedane, but here's a little bit of the announcement as they rolled things out as they were talking about the Raiders.
The Raider organization is built so much on relationships and building relationships. How does that translate to a broadcast partner as we move forward as the Las Vegas Raiders?
Certainly it starts with the games. the games that you'll cover, and you're our preseason partner and have been for the last 3 years. So you get to be the first person to present the team every single year to the market as they're starting to learn the new players. There's more than that. There's so much content that we do together in the community. We've supported your events. You've supported ours. The talent, yourself, Vince, Christine has been a part of our family association. So you really have become a part of the organization.
So you're covering the Raiders, sort of. They're not on the ground here yet, but you were up there a bunch in Oakland when you guys had some staff changes. You cover the Vegas Golden Knights.
Sure.
You've covered UNLV over the years.
Yeah.
Is the Raiders family thing evident to the media? Like, do you see the difference?
No.
Like, VGK has been pretty down with integrating itself into the community, especially since it was such a central part of the massacre over at Mandalay Bay.
The Raiders are very much about like their former players and everybody kind of still being a part of things and the family and all that stuff. No question. But every team is. And I
you don't think they're any different than other NFL teams?
I think there's something special about like that franchise, and I think the way that Al Davis kind of made it into that for sure. But every team tries to.
Right.
They all try to. And every team has, alumni that are part of the community and everything else. Like I'll point out like a place like Buffalo where people are like still a part of the community and still around everything, like for sure. But the Raiders have absolutely 100% tried to foster that, maybe even to a higher degree than other teams, but all teams have it.
So, by the way, we're streaming. We try to do it every once in a while up on Twitter, little YouTube as well. So if you go at Steve Cofield, at ESPN Las Vegas, we'll retweet the stream. We're trying to add some new things, some new wrinkles. Digital department here is doing a great job of getting us the equipment and hooking us up on all the stuff. Yesterday, well, actually last night, we're doing this video now, this late night happy hour, and you said something pretty interesting, which I was glad you finally admitted. Well, I was talking about excitement around a potential UFC matchup in the future, and you're like, you know what, maybe you're right. I'm in the bubble. So I wanted to get, and what that means is sometimes you don't see what the casual fan sees. Like I was pitching a John Jones Overeem fight, and you're like, yeah, you know what, sometimes because I'm around it, I'm a little desensitized, and I was trying to make the point, like I think that's a big fight. I know that you're not going to think this is a big deal, but people were all over this yesterday. And in fact, I know you guys had multiple people out there. Did you see the social media surrounding the planting of the grass on the tray?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have multiple trays. They roll into the stadium, and the planting of the grass was like another milestone. It's like what the NFL brings is incredible. Sure. We're jacked about the freaking sod going down, but it is cool because it's we're one step closer to like we're getting there. There's actually a field is being cultivated now.
Yeah, and it's funny, like it's almost the exact opposite. It's whatever the opposite of deja vu is. I don't know what that means, but I just think back to, you remember all these steps along the way of the Golden Knights when the Golden Knights were coming in, and I would sit here and the listeners and people on Twitter would just be like, who cares that this is the day they're announcing this? This is not sports. This is dumb. This doesn't matter. And I was like,
by the way,
do you understand?
Those are your followers. Because I can tell you, listeners do care.
They didn't at the time. That's what I'm saying.
I think those are
mad.
Those are people that you follow.
No, it was the text line. You remember the text line?
I can tell you that it's our listeners.
You would say it to me like, you're really into this.
Those
stuff.
are our listeners. I can tell you this right now. Everyone who's listening across the way to 1340 and 98.9 FM to VGK Frank and RTHG, that's their cup of tea.
Right, it wasn't then. That's what I'm saying.
I think it was then.
It wasn't.
You think the Knights had to be on the ground for people to start?
Yes. And they had to win
and being all fired up about everything.
Yeah,
okay.
They had to win.
Right,
and I remember you sitting here telling me like, "Wow, you're really into this." And I'm like, "Yes, it's so cool. They're going to announce like the uniform, or they're going to announce the name. They're going to announce the date of the expansion draft. Do you understand?"
So is this Adam Hill goes back and pats himself on the back?
No, it's because now I'm almost like, wait, what? We've been through this, haven't we? What, like, why is this a big deal now? It is. I understand it is.
Maybe
people are very into it.
Maybe in our case, it's the messenger.
The messenger?
Yeah.
What?
That you were the messenger, telling everyone to get excited, and people just want to rebut, and they're like, "Stupid! Anything I was excited about? Not exciting."
Maybe, but I remember people on the text line like, "Why are you even talking about hockey? Who cares?" Like, it's not hockey. We're getting Major League Sports. This is a milestone thing. Like, now it's like the the grass is being put in. Like, this is unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, we've already kind of been through already having pro sports. Like, this is kind of old hat now, but people are very into it.
On the way back, we're going to get to what I think is some encouraging news on the Strip, casinos. We're going to talk a little bit of sports betting as well. There was a good piece on sports or just gambling in general and the opening up of the country. And South Dakota is, remember, Mayor Goodman wanted us to step up and kind of be the control group. South Dakota, I think, is offering to be the control group because they had just buffo numbers opening up the casinos this weekend.
It feels like home, doesn't it? ESPN 100.9 FM and 1100 AM, the home